And it's quite appropriate that we bring him out for a very clutch game. So please, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together for the original number 11, Vernon Maxwell! Vernon, great to have you here in H-Town. Welcome, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Glad to be back. Big game tonight.
Very big game, Game 6, so you've been following the series. Game 5, something happened. We had the opportunity knocking at the door. What happened there? Just some inside analysis.
Well, I just think, we just missed a lot of shots going down the stretch, and they made shots. It's all about misses and makes now. At that time of the stage of the game, game 5, and they just made more shots than we did down the stretch, and that was the deciding point of the game. Just making the shots down the stretch. So,
talking about making shots, you've made some huge shots in your career. Huge shots. Can you talk about the championships? Like, what do you remember? What brings out those memories? What triggers those memories? Watching some of the stuff that you've done, and then watching the playoffs. The things that kind of trigger the memories that you've had.
Well, just the camaraderie that the guys have. Being together about 8 months, out of the year. So just being with your team all the time, and the guys are like your brothers, and they got my back. I got their back. So just that kind of thing like that.
Now, speaking of big shots, you had a big shot at the summit back then, and it was 14-something seconds left, and you hit a giant shot, a giant three-point shot, which obviously you're known for. Can you talk to the Rockets fans here in attendance at the Rockets liftoff party? How crazy, what goes through your mind when the shot clock is running down and you get the ball in your hands? Or Dream gets it and says, you know what, Max? It's your turn. Let me kick it back out to you.
Well, you just can't play. You gotta have no conscience when you're playing the game. If you think too much, you're not gonna be as good. So you just gotta play the game, trust in what you've been working on all year, all your life, and just trust and believe it's good enough, and just go out there and execute. That's about it.
Oh my goodness. Hey, a big round of applause for Vernon Maxwell real quick. We're gonna take a couple, maybe 3 questions from the crowd. If you've ever wanted to ask Vernon Maxwell a question, I'm gonna go ahead and choose. Just raise your hand and let me see, and then come on up so I can hear your question. I do want to say one question. I got it because when we knew that you were gonna come here, I was telling everybody, and a fan came up and asked me, how bad do you hate the Utah Jazz? Like, on a scale of like 1 to just absolutely hate them.
I don't hate them, man.
No.
It's just all in fun,
All in jest, I get it. All right, our first question, where are you from? What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Julia.
Julia from?
Houston.
From Houston. What's your question?
What's it like to be the best defender against MJ in the history?
What is it like to be the best defender against Michael Jordan?
Well, I don't know about all that, but I had a lot of help. I had a big guy behind me, 7-foot guy, Dream, and I had a lot of help. So it wasn't just me, so I can't take all of that. I played him hard. I made it compete, but I think the whole team collectively, it was a good effort by the whole team.
So modest Max. Modest Max, that should be his new nickname. But we all know what happened in the regular season games. We know you shut him down, so.
Hey, you made Michael Jordan leave my hotel. You made Michael Jordan leave my hotel. Yeah.
All right, you got it.
Rocky used to whoop him up so bad.
Oh yeah.
Michael Jordan stayed at the Western Galleria, and when he came back to the Western Galleria, he said the hotel was jinky because the Rocky used to whoop him all the time. And then he moved to the
Vernon
Western
Maxwell
Oaks.
was doing his
He put the
business
knee on him.
enough that he actually got Michael Jordan kicked out of a hotel. Courtesy of this
At
man
the
right here.
Western
I do have a
Galleria.
question, sweetheart. Anybody else got a question? I got 2 more questions left. 2 more questions left for Mad Max. If you got a question, please let me know. Come on, what's your name, sir? Richard. Who is the best player you've ever played with? Oh, played against. I'm sorry.
Michael Jordan.
And he shut him down, Richard. And he shut him down. All right, we got space and time for one last question. Yes, sir. What's your name and what's your question? Steve.
What was your salary back then?
Oh, come on now.
Oh, I wasn't making no money back then.
Big
Man.
time.
No, not what these boys make nowadays. I wasn't
As
making no
much
money.
as Jordan used
But
to
I made it. I've been blessed. I can tell you that. I've been blessed.
play with Jordan was enough. Playing with you guys, Jordan and all you guys was enough.
All right, been blessed and been comfortable. All right, Red Nation, here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask Vernon to sign a couple of basketballs here, and we're going to give it out here tonight. But